Collar on there? Okay. Royce loaded.
Unless you ready?
Ready?
Good. All right,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to get started with our WNPF World Tournament Champions with our first lifter, Chris Loomis. Chris Loomis is our first lifter on the power curl. On deck, Dennis Rollin, and in the hole, Brene Holman, followed by Daisy Guzman. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris is out of the state of New Jersey. He weighed in at 209. He's in the 220-pound weight class.
Down. Down.
And it's a good lift to start out with, ladies and gentlemen. The bar stays at 135 on the power curl. For our next lifter, Dennis Rollin. Dennis Rollin is our next lifter. On deck, Brene Holman, and in the hole, Daisy Guzman, followed by Brendan Todd.
You know when you're ready.
find out.
Curls. Come on. Down. Down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is a good lift. Give a big hand for Dennis Rollin out of the state of New York right there. Now, gentlemen, if you would, let's go over to the squat rack. Let's get our squat ready. Our first weight will be 210, 7 out. 210, 7 out. For our next lifter, Brene Holman. Brene Holman is our next lifter.
45, 35, 2.5.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, on deck, Daisy Guzman, and in the hole, Brendan Todd, followed by Megan Hogan. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Brene Holman's coming out of the state of New Jersey. She weighed in at 127 in the 132-pound weight class, lifting in the open raw division, full powerlifting meet. Let's get behind her, folks. This is 210 pounds for the young lady out of New Jersey.
You know when you're ready now. What?
And it's a good lift, folks. Good lift from Miss Brene Holman. The bar moves to 225. 225 is the weight. 225 is the weight. 9 out. 9 out. For our next lifter, Daisy Guzman. Daisy Guzman is our next lifter. On deck, Brendan Todd, and in the hole, Megan Hogan, followed by Uriel Mendoza. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as Daisy comes up to the platform, she is coming out of the state of New York. Yes, she is a resident of the Big Apple, ladies and gentlemen. She weighed in at 143 in the 148-pound weight class. She's lifting in the Submasters Raw Classic Division, full powerlifting meet, and Submasters Raw Division bench press only. Here she is, Miss Daisy Guzman.
What?
There you go.
And it's a good lift, folks. Great lift by Miss Daisy Guzman. All right, the bar moves. The bar stays at 225, 16 out.
Yeah, Adrian, top first line. What's the record?
All right, the rack height next, 16 out. 16 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Brendan Todd. Brendan Todd is our next lifter. On deck, Megan Hogan, and in the hole, Uriel Mendoza, followed by Matt Hanlon.
Loaded.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this young man, he's 15 years old, lifting in the 13 to 16 Raw Division, full powerlifting meet. He weighed in at 178 in the 181 weight class, coming right out of here, the state of New Jersey. Representing New Jersey real well with his first attempt, which is good, ladies and gentlemen. That was Brendan. The weight goes to 255. 255 is the weight. 255 is the weight for our next lifter, Megan Hogan. 6 out. 6 out is the rack height. On deck, Uriel Mendoza, and in the hole, Matt Hanlon, followed by Robert Jackson.
Bars loaded.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this young lady is coming out of your state of New Jersey right here. She's in the 165-pound weight class. She weighed in at 155. She's in the open raw division, full powerlifting meet. All right, folks, let's get behind Miss Megan Hogan.
Set it up, you know when you're ready. Right. Oh, yeah. Right.
And it's a good lift, folks. Give it up for Megan Hogan right there with that great lift. All right, the bar moves to 275. 275 is the weight. 275 is the weight. 10 out. 10 out is our rack height. For our next lifter, Uriel Mendoza. Uriel Mendoza is our next lifter. On deck, Matt Hanlon. And in the hole, Robert Jackson, followed by Stephanie Winchip. All right, ladies and gentlemen, she is from Mexico. He is from Mexico, my mistake. Sorry. He's 19 years old, ladies and gentlemen. He weighed at 132 in the 132-pound weight class, lifting in the 17 to 19 raw division, full powerlifting meet. Here representing his home country, ladies and gentlemen, this is Uriel Mendoza.
Right. Oh, yeah. Up. Right.
Give him a big hand, folks. That was a great lift. All right, let's move the bar now. The bar stays at 275. Let's go 13 out. 13 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Matt Hanlon. Matt Hanlon is our next lifter. On deck, Robert Jackson. And in the hole, Stephanie Winchip, followed by Long Duong.
Wait now. Right. Right.
And it's a good lift, folks. That was a good lift for Matt Hanlon right there. All right, the bar stays at 275. We go 14 out. 14 out. For our next lifter, Robert Jackson. Robert Jackson is our next lifter. On deck, Stephanie Winship. And in the hole, Long Duong, followed by Kevin Jackson.
Wait now. All right. Wait a minute. Get it up. Let me know when you're ready now. What? Nice.
And there's no lift, folks. Looks like he probably didn't get down a little bit. But I'm sure Robert will be back to smoke that weight. All right, let's go to 300. 300 is the weight. 300 is the weight. 11 out. 11 out for our next lifter, Stephanie Winship. Stephanie Winship is our next lifter. On deck, Long Duong. And in the hole, Kevin Jackson, followed by Vic Scaranda. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Stephanie, she is 19 years old. She's also a resident of the Big Apple. She is in the 17 to 19 raw division, full powerlifting meet, lifting in the super heavyweight class. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen. This is Stephanie from the state of New York.
Come on now, don't wait. What? Oh, yeah.
And it's a good lift, folks. It's a great lift by Stephanie. Great lift. All right, the bar moves to 305. 305 is the weight. 15 out. 15 out for our next lifter, Long Duong, ladies and gentlemen. Long Duong. On deck, Kevin Jackson. And in the hole, Vic Scaranda, followed by Dylan Scaranda. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Long comes from the state of New Jersey. He weighed in at 178. He's in the 181-pound weight class, lifting in the open raw division, full powerlifting meet. Let's get behind him, folks. This is Long's first attempt.
Oh, yeah.
Deep and good, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Mr. Long Duong with a great lift. All right, let's move the bar to 315. 315 is the weight. 315 is the weight for our next lifter. 12 out. 12 out is the rack height. 12 out is the right cap. Our next lifter is Kevin Jackson. Kevin Jackson is our next lifter. On deck, Vic Scaranda, and in the hole, Dylan Scaranda, followed by George James. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin comes from also the state of New Jersey. Weighed in at 178 in the 181-pound weight class, lifting in the 40 to 44 raw division in the powerlifting, bench press only, and deadlift only. This is Kevin Jackson.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, that was a beautiful lift. That's a good one. Give it up for Kevin Jackson on that one. All right, the bar stays at 315. 14 out. 14 out is the rack height. 14 out is the rack height for our next lifter, Vic Scaranda. Vic Scaranda is our next lifter. On deck, Dylan Scaranda, and in the hole, George James, followed by Dennis Rowland. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Vic. He's coming from the state of New Jersey, weighing in at 196 pounds in the 198-pound weight class. He's lifting in the 65 to 69 Raw Classic division, full powerlifting meet. And 65 to 69 Raw Classic deadlift only. Ladies and gentlemen, he is 66 years old, getting ready to squat 315. Let's get behind Vic right now. And it's a good lift, folks. Good lift by Vic.
Go down, go back behind the rack. Go down, go down, go down. Come down. All right,
all right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, the bar moves to 325. 325 is the weight. 325 is the weight. 14 out. 14 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Dylan Scaranda. Dylan Scaranda is our next lifter. On deck, George James. And in the hole, Dennis Rollins, followed by Chris Loomis. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this young man is 16 years old, coming out of the state of New Jersey. He's lifting in the 198-pound weight class in the 13 to 16 Raw division, deadlift only, and full powerlifting meet. And he started off with a great lift, ladies and gentlemen. Great lift by Dylan Scaranda. All right, the bar moves to 340. 340 is the weight. 340 is the weight. 9 out. 9 out is the rack height. 9 out. For our next lifter, George James. George James will be our next lifter. On deck, Dennis Rollins, and in the hole, Chris Loomis, followed by Bernae Holman.
Bars loaded.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, state of Maryland. Body weight 147, weight class 148, open raw division, full powerlifting meet. George is coming in. He is now getting ready to squat twice his body weight, ladies and gentlemen. So let's give him up. Let's give him a big charge, ladies and gentlemen. Get him fired up.
Ready,
And it's a good lift, folks. Great lift by George James. All right, gentlemen. Let's go ahead and convert over back to our power curl, with our first weight being 145. 145 is our first weight.
10-5, 45, 10-5, 2.5.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, when the guys get the weight squared away, this will be the beginning of round 2 in flight 1 for power curl and squat. And our lifter that's on deck will be Dennis Rollins. On deck after him will be Chris Loomis, and in the hole, Bernae Holman, followed by Daisy Guzman, and the bar is loaded. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we watched the last time, Big Dennis come in and he curled 135 as if this was a pack of toothpicks. So let's get behind him, folks, as he gets ready to curl it again. He's adding 10 pounds to it.
Shaking the shit.
He weighed in at 249. He's in the 275-pound weight class. He's curling from the 50 to 59 division.
Curl! Down!
Well, it's a good lift, folks. That looked like a pack of toothpicks, too, right there for Big Dennis Rollins. All right, bar moves to 150. 150 is the weight. 150 is the weight. For our next lifter, Chris Loomis. Chris Loomis is our next lifter first. On deck, Bernae Holman, and in the hole, Daisy Guzman, followed by Matt Hanlon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, when Chris comes to the platform, he's weighing in the 209 and the 220-pound weight class. He's lifting in the 50 to 59 curl division, 50-59 division, and the curl only, coming out of the state of New Jersey. Let's get behind him, folks. This is for a state record for your state of New Jersey. And it's a good lift and a new state record by Chris Loomis. Great job, great job. Okay, let's go back to the squat, ladies and gentlemen. And our weight will be 235. 235 is the weight. 235 is the weight. 7 out, 7 out. And it'll be for our next lifter, Bernae Holman. Bernae Holman is our next lifter. On deck, Daisy Guzman, and in the hole, Brendan Todd, followed by Megan Hogan.
Bar is loaded.
right, ladies and gentlemen, she smoked a 210 on her first attempt. Let's get behind her, folks. And she gets ready to push this with an extra 25 pounds added on to it. This is Bernae Holman. Alright, that's a good lift, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good lift. Let's give her a hand, folks, and let it just assure her that it was a good lift. Let's give her a hand.
She hit the uprights coming up and the ball went back down. The reason I redlined it.
All right.
Wait. Oh, because it hit the rack?
Yeah, because the ball went back down.
What's the next one, Ed? Come on.
Oh, okay. All right, well, let's go. Wait, let's move the bar to 245. 245 is the weight. 245 is the weight. 8 out. 8 out is our next weight in rack height. Our next lifter is Daisy Guzman. Daisy Guzman, ladies and gentlemen. On deck, Brendan Todd, and in the hole, Megan Hogan, followed by Robert Jackson. Come on now. All right, ladies and gentlemen. She hit a 225 on her first attempt. Now she's coming to push it further with a 245. This is Daisy out of the state of New York.
What?
Oh, yeah.
It's no lift. Looks like she's just a little high, ladies and gentlemen. Just a little high, but I'm sure Daisy will be back to smoking on her next attempt. All right, let's move the bar to 260. 260 is the weight. 260 is the weight. 16 out. 16 out. For our next lifter, Brendan Todd. Brendan Todd is our next lifter. On deck, Megan Hogan, and in the hole, Robert Jackson, followed by Matt Hanlon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming out of the state of New Jersey, 15 years old. He's going to attempt a 260 squat. He hit a 225 on his first attempt. And let's get behind him, folks. This is Brendan Todd.
What?
And it's a good lift. Great lift by the young man out of the state of New Jersey. All right, let's move the bar to 275. 275 is the weight. 275 is the weight. 6 out. 6 out is the rack height. 6 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Megan Hogan. Megan Hogan is our next lifter. On deck, Robert Jackson. And in the hole, Matt Hanlon, followed by Uriel Mendoza. All right, ladies and gentlemen, she hit a 255 on her first attempt. Now she's coming to do a 275 squat. Let's get behind her, folks. 24 years old, representing the great state of New Jersey. This is Megan Hogan.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And it's a good lift. Another great lift by Megan Hogan. All right, the bar stays at 275. 14 out. 14 out is the rack height. 14 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Robert Jackson. Robert Jackson is our next lifter. On deck, Matt Hanlon. And in the hole, Uriel Mendoza, followed by Stephanie Winship. All right. I just noticed this about Mr. Robert Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. 62 years young, coming out of the state of Connecticut. He weighed in at 167 in the 181-pound weight class. Lifted in the 60 to 64 Raw division. Police, fireman, military Raw division, ladies and gentlemen. One of Connecticut's finest right here, getting ready to squat. What did I tell you, folks? I knew you'd come back to smoke it. There you go. That's a good lift by Mr. Robert Jackson. All right, the bar moves to 285. 285 is the weight. 13 out. 13 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Matt Hanlon. Matt Hanlon is our next lifter. On deck, Uriel Mendoza. And in the hole, Stephanie Winship, followed by Long Duong.
What?
And it's another great lift by Matt Hanlon, ladies and gentlemen. Another great lift. No, you're good. All right, the bar stays. The bar stays at 285, gentlemen. Bar stays at 285. 10 out. 10 out is our rack height. 10 out is our rack height. For our next lifter, Uriel Mendoza. Uriel Mendoza, ladies and gentlemen. A young man from the country of Mexico. On deck, Stephanie Winship, and in the hole, Long Duong, followed by Kevin Jackson.
You wait now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he hit a 275 on his first attempt. He's coming back to push it further with a 285, which is twice his body weight. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Uriel Mendoza.
What?
And it's a good lift, folks. A great lift. Great lift by Uriel right there. All right, the bar moves to 325. 325 is the weight. 325 is the weight. 11 out. 11 out. 11 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Stephanie Winship. Stephanie Winship is our next lifter. On deck, Long Duong, and in the hole, Kevin Jackson, followed by Vic Scarenda.
345.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, she's 19 years old. She's from the Big Apple, representing them here today. She smoked a 300 on the first attempt. Now she's coming back to push it further with a 325. Let's get behind her, folks. This is Stephanie Winship.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Woo, what a lift, ladies and gentlemen. That was a great one right there. That was a good one. All right, the bar moves to 335. 335 is the weight. 335 is the weight. 15 out. 15 out. 15 out. For our next lifter, Long Duong, ladies and gentlemen. Long Duong is our next lifter. On deck, Kevin Jackson, and in the hole, Vic Scarenda, followed by George James. Flight number 2 in the squat. You probably could be warming up about right now because we're going to go right into your flight when we jump on flight 1. So be ready.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a good lift, folks. A good lift for Long Duong. All right, the bar moves to 340. 340 is the weight. 340 is the weight for 12 out. 12 out is our rack height. 12 out is our rack height. For our next lifter, Kevin Jackson. Kevin Jackson is our next lifter. On deck, Vic Scarenda, and in the hole, George James, followed by Dylan Scarenda. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming out of the state of New York, he hit a 315 on his first attempt. Now he's pushing it with an extra 55 pounds added on to it.
Oh, yeah.
Getting ready to push 340, and he did it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good lift by Kevin Jackson. Kevin Jackson, that was a good lift. Bar stays at 340, 14 out. 14 out is the rack height. 14 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Vic Scarenda. Vic Scarenda is our next lifter. On deck, George James, and in the hole, Dylan Scarenda, followed by Dennis Nolan.
Wait now. Come on now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, 66 years old, getting ready to squat 340.
Come on now.
And it's a good lift, folks. Good lift by Vic right there. That's what you call staying with it, ladies and gentlemen. Staying with it. All right, the bar moves to 360. 360 is the weight. 360 is the weight. 9 out. 9 out. 9 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, George James. George James is our next lifter. On deck, Dylan Scarenda, and in the hole, Dennis Rowland, followed by Chris Lewis. All right, ladies and gentlemen. He weighed in at 147, coming out of the state of Maryland. He hit a 340 on his first squat, and now he's coming to push it further with a 360. Let's get behind him, folks. This is George James.
Ready, what?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we call breaking parallel right there. That is breaking parallel. That's a good lift by George James. Let's move the bar to 365. 365 is the weight. 365 is the weight. 14 out. 14 out is our rack height. For our next lifter, Dylan Scarenda. Dylan Scaranda is our next lifter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dylan Scaranda. On deck, Dennis Roller in the hole, Chris Loomis, followed by Brene Holman. It's a good listen, folks. We were just told that that was a new state record by Dylan. Let's give him a big hand, folks. Give him a big hand. All right, gentlemen, let's move over to our power curl. Let's get ready for our power curl. With our first weight being 155. 155 is the weight. 155 is the weight for our third and final attempt. Ladies and gentlemen, this will be our third attempt in the power curl and the squat. Flight number 2. You should be warming up and you should be ready to go. We're going to go right into your flight. Afterwards, then we'll take a 15-minute break to get set up for the bench press. 155 is the weight on the curl for Dennis Rowland, ladies and gentlemen. He hit a 135, then a 145, and now he's going for 155. He's in the power, he's in the police, fireman, military, single ply, bench press only, raw deadlift only, 50 to 59 curl, 50 to 59 police, fireman, and military reps, 50 to 54 single ply Ironman.
Yeah.
And it's no lift, ladies and gentlemen, but give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That was a great attempt. That was a great attempt by Dennis Rowland. All right, the bar stays at 155. The bar stays at 155. For our next lifter, Chris Loomis. Chris Loomis is our next lifter. This is for a new state record, ladies and gentlemen. What a great attempt. Give them both a big hand, folks. Give them both a big hand. That was a great attempt. Chris still has that state record, and he was just going to break it again. That's what we call leaving it on the platform. Leaving it on the platform. All right, let's go to the squat. Gentlemen, the weight will be 250, 7 out. 7 out. 7 out. We'll be our rack height. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this will be our third attempt in the first flight for the squat. And it will start out with Miss Brene Holman. Miss Brene Holman will be our lifter. On deck, Daisy Guzman. And in the hole, Robert Jackson, followed by Uriel Mendoza. All right, folks. She's coming out of the state of New Jersey. She hit a 210 and a 235. She's getting ready to go 3 for 3. Let's get behind her, folks. This is Bear's final attempt.
Wait.
And it's no love. But give her a hand, folks. That's a great attempt. That was a great attempt by Miss Brene Holman. Great attempt. All right, the bar moves to 255. 255. 8 out. 8 out is our rack height. For our next lifter, Daisy Guzman. Daisy Guzman is our next lifter. On deck, Robert Jackson. And in the hole, Uriel Mendoza, followed by Megan Hogan.
No, it's 10 and a 5.
Oh, 25. 255. Oh, okay.
255 is the weight. 8 out.
All right, come on now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Daisy hit a 225. She missed a 245, but she decided to go push it further. Give me 10 more pounds, she said on her third attempt. So let's get behind her, folks. Let's get that energy flowing for Daisy, who wants to smoke this weight. That was a great attempt by Daisy Guzman, ladies and gentlemen. Great attempt. Give her a big hand, folks. Give her a big hand. That was a great attempt. All right, the bar moves to 300. 300 is the weight. 300 is the weight for our next lifter. And 14 out. 14 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Robert Jackson. Robert Jackson is our next lifter. On deck, Uriel Mendoza, followed by Megan Hogan, and then Matt Hanlon.
Bar loaded.
All right, and the bar is loaded as the ref called out. Ladies and gentlemen, he's 62 years old, coming out of the state of Connecticut. He smoked 275, and now he's getting ready to hit 300. Lifting in the 60 to 64 raw division, police, firemen, and military raw division in the full powerlifting meet. This is Mr. Robert Jackson.
Come on, guys. Wait.
man, and a great lift. All right, the bar stays at 300. 10 out. 10 out is the rack height. 10 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Uriel Mendoza. Uriel Mendoza is our next lifter. On deck, Megan Hogan, and in the hole, Matt Hanlon, followed by Brendan Todd. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he's come all the way from Mexico here to be with us here today. 19 years old, lifting in the 17 to 19 Raw division. This is an attempt for a new national record. A new national record, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get behind it, folks. This is Uriel Mendoza.
What?
All right, give him a big hand, folks. That was a great job by Uriel. Great attempt right there. All right, the bar moves to 305. 305 is the weight. 305 is the weight for our next lifter, Megan Hogan. 6 out. 6 out is the rack height. 6 out is the rack height. Our next lifter, Megan Hogan. On deck, Matt Hanlon. And in the hole, Brendan Todd, followed by Stephanie Winship. All right, ladies and gentlemen. When they weighed in at 155 and the 165-pound weight class, lifting in the open Raw division, 4-pound lifting meet, coming from here in the state of New Jersey. She's hit 2, now she's going for her 3rd. This is Megan Hogan.
Come on, good job.
That was a great attempt by Megan, ladies and gentlemen. Great attempt. Give her a big hand, folks, for a nice try. That was a great try. All right, our next lift, next weight is 315. 315 is our next weight. 13 out. 13 out. For our next lifter, Matt Hanlon. Matt Hanlon is our next lifter. On deck, Brendan Todd. And in the hole, Stephanie Winship, followed by Vic Scaranda.
Come on, now. Bar is loaded.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he had a 275, a 285. Now he's getting ready to push it with a 315. This is Matt Hanlon. And it's no lift, folks. It's no lift. But let's give him a hand, folks. He did a great job. He did a great job. Looks like he didn't get down low enough. All right, let's move to keep the bar at 315. 16 out. 16 out. 16 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Brendan Todd. Brendan Todd is our next lifter. On deck, Stephanie Winship. And in the hole, Vic Scaranda, followed by Long Duong. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he's going for 315. He hit a 260. Boy, it looks smooth, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Brendan Todd, ladies and gentlemen. That was a great lift. All right, the bar moves to 350. 350 is the weight. 350 is the weight. 11 out. 11 out is the rack height. 11 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Stephanie Winship. Stephanie Winship is our next lifter. On deck, Vic Scaranda, and in the hole, Long Duong, followed by Kevin Jackson. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Stephanie comes up here to the platform. Let's get behind her. She hit a 300, a 325, and then she's going for a 350. This is Miss Stephanie Winship.
Let's go, Steph.
Let's go, baby girl. You got this.
That's wrong. What?
Go.
That was a great attempt, folks. Give her a good hand. Give her a big hand for that. Give her a big hand for that. All right, the bar moves to 360. 360 is the weight. 360 is the weight. 14 out. 14 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Vic Scaranda. Vic Scaranda is our next lifter. On deck, Long Duong, and in the hole, Kevin Jackson, followed by George James. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Vic hit a 315, he hit a 340, and now he's getting ready to push it further with a 360. He's lifting in the 65 to 69 Raw Classic Division 4-pound lifting meet. And looked like he wasn't long enough, ladies and gentlemen, but it was a great attempt whatsoever. Let's give him a big hand, folks. Let's give him a big hand. All right, the ball moves to 365. 365 is the weight. 365 is the weight for our next lifter, Long Duong. Long Duong is our next lifter. Oh, I'm sorry. 15 out. 15 out is the rack height. On deck, Kevin Jackson, and in the hole, George James, followed by Dylan Sharanda.
Two times.
All right, he's 2 for 2, ladies and gentlemen, going for that third one in the squat. He's kicking on some weight, about 30 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get behind him. There's no left, but give it up, folks, for long. I'll tell you what, this is what you call leaving it on the platform, ladies and gentlemen. This is what the world's all about. All right, let's move the bar to 365. 365 is the weight, 12 out. 12 out is the rack height. 12 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Kevin Jackson. Kevin Jackson is our next lifter. On deck, George James. And in the hole, Dylan Scaranda, followed by Michael Carrick.
That's good. Thank you, guys. Easy way now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get behind him, folks. Let's really pump him up. He's going for a national record with this lift. 365 pounds for the young man out of the state of New Jersey. Lifting in the 40 to 49 Raw division for the powerlifting meet, bench press only, and deadlift only. This is Kevin Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a new national record, ladies and gentlemen, for Kevin Jackson. What an awesome job. What an awesome job. All right, move the bar to 385. 385 is the weight. 385 is the weight. 9 out. 9 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, George James. George James is our next lifter. On deck, Dylan Scaranda, and in the hole, Michael Carrick, followed by Michael Watts.
The bar is loaded. Oh, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he had a 340 and a 360. Now he's going for 385 at a body weight of 147, ladies and gentlemen. That's incredible. That is awesome. This man has got some strength. And he's getting ready to show us right now when he hits this 385. Let's get behind him, folks. Out of the state of Maryland, this is George James.
Ready, fire!
And it's a good lift, folks. 385 at 147. That's what you call not giving up, ladies and gentlemen. That was awesome. All right, the weight goes to 400. 400 is the weight. 400 is the weight. 14 out. 14 out is the rack height.
35, 5, 2.5.
World record. I don't know if I'm gonna make a track today.
Oh, yeah.
What, Dylan?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. It's okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen. That was Dylan Scaranda. Give a hand for them spotters, loaders, and loaders, folks, for being there. But give a hand for Dylan, too, for a nice try. Okay? All right.
For now. Yeah,
let's move the bar to 300 pounds. 300 pounds is the weight. 11 out. 11 out is the rack height. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of flight 2 in the squat, ladies and gentlemen. This is round 1. For our first lifter, Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick is our first lifter. On deck, Michael Watts. And in the hole, James Whiteneck, followed by Dan Caffrey.
Bar is loaded.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Michael Carrick coming out of the state of New Jersey. He weighed in at 187 in the 198 weight class, lifted in the 50 to 54 Raw Classic division, full powerlifting meet. And it looks like no lift, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like he needs to get down just a little bit more. But it's a great attempt, folks. It's his first attempt. So give him a big hand, folks. That was a great attempt. All right, the bar moves to 340. 340 is the weight. 340 is the weight. 16 out. 16 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Michael Watts. Michael Watts is our next lifter. On deck, James Whiteneck. And in the hole, Dan Caffrey, followed by Noah Gomez.
Bar is loaded. Go on. Come on now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like he didn't get long enough on that one, Miguel, but I'm sure Michael will be back, ladies and gentlemen. He will be back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the bar moves to 365. 365 is the weight. 365 is the weight for our next lifter, and I have been corrected. James Whitenick. James Whitenick is our next lifter. 15 out. 15 out is the rack height. Sorry about that, Dion. 15 out is the rack height. Weight is 365. On deck, Dan Caffrey, and in the hole, Noah Gomez, followed by Jeremy Velasquez.
Right.
Come on, James. Come on.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a good lift, ladies and gentlemen. He got a good lift. All right. Bar now moves to 400. 400 is the weight. 400 is the weight. 10 out. 10 out is the rack height. 10 out is the rack height for our next lifter, Dan Caffrey. Dan Caffrey is our next lifter. On deck, Noah Gomez, and in the hole, Jeremy Velasquez, followed by Brian Bonder. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dan comes out of the state of New Jersey. He weighed 230 in the 242-pound weight class, lifting in the open raw division, in the full power lifting meet, bench press only, deadlift only, and he's doing open raw division in the squat only. This is Dan Caffrey. And it's no good. Looks like he didn't get just deep enough. He has to get just a little bit lower. All right, let's move the bar to 405. 405 is the weight. 405 is the weight. 13 out. 13 out is our next lifter, Noah Gomez. Noah Gomez is our next lifter. On deck, Jeremy Velasquez, and in the hole, Brian Bonder, followed by Romeo Tendicia.
Bar is loaded.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Noah weighed in at 180 in the 181-pound weight class in the junior raw division full powerlifting meet. Coming out of the state of New Jersey, this is Noah Gomez.
Come on now.
Come on, Noah.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Come on, Noah.
Oh!
Come on, Noah.
And it's a good lift, folks. A good lift for Noah Gomez. All right, the bar moves to 405. 405 is the weight. 13 in. 13 in is the rack height. 13 in is rack height. For our next lifter, Jeremy Velasquez. Jeremy Velasquez is our next lifter. On deck, Brian Bonder, and in the hole, Romeo Tendicia. Romeo Tendicia. And after him, Rich Rogers. Rich Rogers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he's coming out. He's representing the Big Apple here today. He weighed in at 196 in the 198-pound weight class, lifting in the open Raw Classic Division squat only.
Check with the head judge. Can you just line me up to make sure I'm straight?
Yeah, you gotta do that, no problem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jeremy coming up to the platform right now, getting ready to lift. Let's get behind him, folks. This is his first attempt at 405 pounds.
Go, baby. TL, lightweight. Smash that. Oh, yeah. What?
And it's a good lift, folks. Good lift for Jeremy, representing the Big Apple. All right, the bar moves to 435. 435 is the weight. 435 is the weight. 11 out. 11 out is the rack height. 11 out is the rack height for our next lifter, Brian Bonder. Brian Bonder is our next lifter. On deck, Romeo Tendicia. And in the hole, Rich Rogers, followed by Nick LaCava.
Bar is loaded.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, when Brian comes up here, let's get behind him, folks. He is from the state of New Jersey. He weighed in at 343. He is lifting in the super heavyweight class, 45 to 49, Raw Classic Division, full powerlifting meet. This is Brian Bonder.
Bar loaded. All right.
Come on now. Easy weight.
Easy, let's go.
No weight at the bar. Come on now.
Go weight. Come on, Brian. Like. Go weight, Brian.
What? All right, ladies and gentlemen, here he goes.
Oh, yeah.
435 pounds, and it's good, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Brian on that great lift. All right, the bar moves to 455. 455, 8 out. 8 out is the rack height. 8 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Romeo Tendicia. Romeo Tendicia is our next lifter. On deck, Rich Rogers, and in the hole, Nick LaCava, followed by Rob Landolini. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he's coming out of the state of New Jersey, 145 pounds in the 148 weight class, lifting in the open Raw Classic full powerlifting meet. Ladies and gentlemen, this is 455 pounds by somebody who weighs 145 pounds. This is some serious lifting right here. Show him what it's all about, Romeo.
What? Ha! Ha! Ha!
And it's a good lift, folks. A great lift by Romeo Tendicia. All right, the bar moves to 475. 475 is the weight. 475 is the weight for our next lifter, Rich Rogers. Rich Rogers is our next lifter. 12 out. 12 out is the rack height. On deck, Nick LaCava, and in the hole, Rob Landolini, followed by Steve Arnold.
Is that underwear or those groove briefs?
No, he's got it. I doubled it because
Oh, you just
it's
rubbed
so
it
long.
inside out. Okay.
Just so I can see my knees.
Okay, that's supposed to touch the fat. Yeah, that's okay. Bar is loaded.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's go, Richard, let's go.
When Rich comes up to the platform, he weighed in at 193 in the 198-pound weight class, lifting in the police, fireman, military, Raw Classic division, full powerlifting meet. Coming out of the state of New Jersey, this is Rich Rogers.
What?
Get in! Up, boy.
And it's a great lift, ladies and gentlemen. A great lift by Rich Rogers. All right, the bar moves to 515. 515 is the weight. 515 is the weight. 12 out. 12 out is the rack height. 12 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Nick LaCava. Nick LaCava, ladies and gentlemen. On deck, Rob Landolini, and in the hole, Steve Arnold, followed by George Anderson.
Bar is loaded.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Nick weighed in at 198 in the 198-pound weight class, lifting in the junior Raw Classic division, full powerlifting meet. Coming out of the state of New Jersey, right here, folks, this is Nick LaCava.
Get your back, Nick. Get your back. All right. Reset. Relax.
You're off.
Get together now.
Come on now. Come on, Rich.
Let's go.
Come on, Nick.
Use reps, buddy. Let's go. Just like the gym. Practice. Let's go. Use those reps. Pop. Good job, Savannah.
And it's no lift, folks, but give him a great hand, folks. That's a good try. A lot of weight. I'm sure Nick's going to be back. Nick will be back for them.
Man.
All right, the bar moves to 530. 530 is the weight. 530 is the weight. 16 in. 16 in is the rack height. For our next lifter, Rob Landolini. Rob Landolini is our next lifter. On deck, Steve Arnold, and in the hole, George Anderson, followed by Michael Carrick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Rob weighed in at 239 in the 242-pound weight class. He's lifting in the open Raw division, 40 to 44 Raw division, police, fireman, military, Raw division, and the full powerlifting meet. Coming out of the state of New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Rob Landolini.
Come on now.
Strong now. Let's go.
Come on, Rod. That's it.
What? Get up.
Drive it up. Drive it up.
Oh, yeah.
Rest.
There you go, folks. That was a great lift by Rob Landolina. Great lift, ladies and gentlemen. All right, the bar moves to 550. 550 is the weight. 550 is the weight. 15 out. 15 out is the correct height. For our next lifter, Steve Arnold. Steve Arnold is our next lifter. On deck, George Anderson, and in the hole, Michael Carrick, followed by Michael Watts, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Arnold weighed in at 237 in the 242-pound weight class. He's lifted in the open raw classic division, police, fireman, military raw classic division, pro powerlifting meet.
Come on now. Power stick.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Steve Arnold out of the state of New Jersey.
Let's go, Steve.
What?
And it's a good lift, folks. It's a good lift. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move the bar to 575. 575 is the weight. 575 is the weight. For our next lifter, George Anderson, 16 in. 16 in is the record. 16 in for George, ladies and gentlemen. On deck, Michael Carrick, and in the hole, Michael Watts, followed by James Whiteneck, ladies and gentlemen.
Water's loaded.
Judge, light on.
Whip that.
Oh, sorry.
But that's not even here. So it is with 10.
Whip that.
You did that just so we can talk about it.
That's a good sweet, though.
It's actually.
Yeah.
You did that just so we can talk about it, right? You did that just so we can talk about that. She's not here with me.
It's not Titanic, it's Titanic.
I told you Titanic.
No, they said it's Titanic.
Which I didn't know what he told me when I was talking.
He told you.
Okay.
Oh, okay. We're just going to call him James Wi-Fi.
Take your hat off with him.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get behind George as he comes up here tonight. Today, ladies and gentlemen, he weighed in at 297 in the 300-pound weight class. He's lifting in the open raw classic division.
What?
And it's a good lift, folks. A great lift for George right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we moved the bar to 315. 315 is the weight. 315 is the weight for Michael Carrick. 11 out. 11 out. On deck, Michael Watts, and in the hole, James Whiteneck. James Whiteneck. After him would be Dan Caffrey, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Caffrey.
Bar is loaded. I know it's fine. Come on now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get behind Michael. He missed 300 on his first attempt, but he's coming back to bust it for 315, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a big round of applause. Let's get him fired up. He's lifting in the 50 to 54 Raw Classic Division, full powerlifting meet.
What?
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Coming back to get the job done. Give it up. All right. Bar moves to 340. 340 is the weight. 340 is the weight. 16 out. 16 out. For our next lifter, Michael Watts. Michael Watts is our next lifter. On deck, James Whiteneck. Whiteneck. All right. And in the hole, Dan Caffrey, followed by Noah Gomez. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he had a 3. He missed that 340 in his first attempt. He just got to get a little lower. Let's get behind Michael as he gets ready on his second attempt on this weight. Michael Carrick, we need your third attempt. Michael Carrick, we need your third attempt. And it's no lift, ladies and gentlemen. But let's get behind him, folks. Let's get behind him. If I know Michael, he'll be back to get that weight. He'll be back to get it. Okay, let's move the bar to 375. 375 is the weight. 375 is the weight. 15 out. 15 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, James Whiteneck. All right, this is James Whiteneck out of the state of New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen. On deck, Dan Caffrey, and in the hole, Noah Gomez, followed by Jeremy Velasquez.
Wait now. Don't worry the bar.
Do it, James.
Come on now, don't worry the bar.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he had a 365 on his first attempt. He's coming back to push it further with 375. And looks like he didn't get low enough, ladies and gentlemen. It's no good, but give him a big hand for a great attempt. That's a great attempt. All right, we moved the bar to 400. 400 is the weight. 400 is the weight. 10 out. 10 out is our record for our next lifter, Dan Caffrey. Dan Caffrey is our next lifter. On deck, Noah Gomez, and in the hole, Jeremy Velasquez, followed by Brian Bonder.
Come on, Dan. Need to go down here. Come on. Wait, they got this. Come on now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get behind Dan. He missed this on his first attempt. He's coming back, pushing further. He's just got to get low, ladies and gentlemen. Just got to get low. And it's no lift, ladies and gentlemen. Seems like Dan's just got to get lower a little bit more, and he'll be good to go. But he'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, I know Dan is a great lifter. He'll be back to get that weight. All right, move the ball to 425. 425 is the weight. 425 is the weight for our next 13 out. 13 out is our rack height. For our next lifter, Noah Gomez. Noah Gomez is our next lifter. On deck, Jeremy Velasquez, and in the hole, Brian Bonder, followed by Romeo Tendicia.
Bar is loaded.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he weighed in at 180 in the 181-pound weight class, lifting in the junior raw division, full power lifting meet. He hit a 405 on his first attempt, and he's coming back to push it further with a 425. Let's get behind him, folks. This is Noah Gomez.
Don't win the bar. Come on now. Come on, Noah.
Come on, Noah. Oh, get it up.
Take that. Good job.
And it's, I need 2 more lights, guys. And it's no lift, ladies and gentlemen. Give a big hand for them spotters and loaders, ladies and gentlemen, who are there making sure our lifters are safe today. Great attempt by Noah. All right, let's move it to 460. Move the bar to 460 pounds, 13 in. 13 in. 13 in for our next lifter, Jeremy Velasquez. Velasquez is our next lifter. On deck, Brian Bonder, and in the hole, Romeo Tendicia, followed by Rich Rogers.
We got 465 on the screen. What do you got on your card?
I got 460.
Okay, 460 it is, man. We got the right way. Bar is loaded.
Good Lord.
I know.
Go, baby. Come on now. Don't wait.
Yeah.
Get it set in there.
Flyweight, baby. Let's
Go.
go.
Come on now. Set it up. What's up? Oh, yeah.
Go, scrap.
Come on now.
Light. What? Slow.
There you go.
Yeah.
And it's no lift, folks. Looks like Jeremy has to get down a little bit lower, but give him a big hand. That was a good attempt. He's representing the Big Apple very well today in the squat, ladies and gentlemen. Very well. All right, the ball moves to 470. 470 is the weight. 470 is the weight for our next lifter, Brian Bonder. Brian Bonder is our next lifter. 11 out. 11 out is our rack height. On deck, Romeo Tendicia, and in the hole, Rich Rogers, followed by Nick LaCava. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get behind Brian when he comes out here. He hit a 435 on his first attempt. He's getting ready to add another 35 pounds to it with a 470, lifted in the super heavyweight class in the 45 to 49 Raw Classic division in the full powerlifting meet. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for New Jersey's own Brian Bonder.
Easy weight now.
Brian, we got
Come on now.
Yeah.
Wait, your time.
No weight on the bar. Come on now.
Lightweight, bro. Wait.
Come on now.
What?
And it's a good lift, folks. Big lift. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great lift by Brian right there. Okay, let's move the bar to 480. 480 is the weight. 480 is the weight. 8 out. 8 out. 8 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Romeo Tendicia. Romeo Tendicia. On deck, Rich Rogers, and in the hole, Nick LaCava, followed by Rob Landolina.
Come on now, like the stuff. Easy weight on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he weighed in 145 pounds. He hit a 455, and now he's coming for a 480. 480 in the open Raw Classic division, full powerlifting. Let's get behind him, folks. This is
What? Ha! Ha! Ha!
and it's no lift. Looks like Romeo just needs to get down maybe a little bit more, ladies and gentlemen. What a great attempt at 145 pounds. He just had a 480 pounds on his back, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a big hand, folks. That was a great job. Give him a big hand. All right, let's move the ball to 500. 500 is the weight. 500 is the weight. 12 out. 12 out. 12 out for our next lifter, Rich Rogers. Rich Rogers is our next lifter. On deck, Nick LaCava. And in the hole, Rob Landolina, followed by Steve Arnold. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the bar is loaded. We're getting ready for Rich. He's coming out right now. 29 years old, weighed in at 193 in the 198-pound weight class, lifting in the police, fireman, military, Raw Classic division, full powerlifting meet. This is Rich Rogers.
Wait now.
Rich, let's go! Come on, Richie! What?
And it's no limit, ladies and gentlemen, but a great attempt. Give him a big hand, folks. Give him a big hand. That was a great attempt. All right, ladies and gentlemen, move the bar to 515. 515 is weight. 12 out. 12 out is the rack height. 12 out is the rack height for our next lifter, Nick LaCava. Nick LaCava is our next lifter. On deck, Rob Landolina, and in the hole, Steve Arnold, followed by George Anderson. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Nick lifting in the junior Raw Classic division, full powerlifting meet. Coming out of the state of New Jersey, getting ready to attempt 515. He missed it on his first attempt, but I think he's going to come back and do it this time, ladies and gentlemen. So let's give him up. Let's give him a minute to get him ready.
Come on now, please.
There you go. You got it. Let's go. What? Use your belt, trust your reps. Let's go. Breathe and squat.
And it's no lift, but that's another great attempt by him, folks. I'm not counting him out just yet. I think Nick's going to come back, do what he's got to do to get the job done. All right, bar moves to 555. 555 is the weight. 555 is the weight. 15 in. 15 in. For our next lifter, Rob Landolina. Rob Landolina is our next lifter. On deck, Steve Arnold, and in the hole, George Anderson, followed by Michael Carrick.
Let's go. One time now. Let's go.
No way in the bar. Come on now.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, he's scored a 530 on his first attempt, and now he's coming back to hit a 555, ladies and gentlemen. Lifting in the open Raw division, 40 to 44 Raw division, and police, fireman, military Raw division, full powerlifting meet. Here he is, Rob Landolina.
Let's go.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay.
Get up.
Oh yeah, up, up. Nice.
Woo, that's easy money right there. Give it up for Rob. What a great lift. That was a good lift, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, the bar moves to 580. 580 is the weight. 580 is the weight. 15 out. 15 out is the rack height. 15 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Steve Arnold. Steve Arnold is our next lifter. On deck, George Anderson in the hole, Michael Carrick, followed by Michael Watts, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Steve Arnold is also lifting, ladies and gentlemen, in the open Raw Classic division, police, fireman, military, Raw Classic, full power lifting meet. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our police, firemen, military guys who are lifting today. They do a lot of good work for them. So let's give them a big hand who's up here lifting today. We are very thankful for what they do every day. So here we go. This is Steve Arnold, 580, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get behind him, folks. What? And it's a good lift, folks. 580 pounds for Steve Arnold. All right, the bar moves to 625. 625 is the weight. 625 is the weight. 16 in. 16 in is the rack height. 16 in is the rack height. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this will be for our next lifter, George Anderson. George Anderson is our next lifter. On deck, Michael Carrick, and in the hole, Michael Watts, followed by James Witanic.
Bar is loaded. Come on now.
They'll get it eventually.
Probably the last lift of the deep.
But you see, it's not me, right? I learned my lesson last year.
You ain't never done that. What you know? You ain't never done that. You ain't never done that.
No, it's the name, but I get
Okay, you get that one right. It says you need to learn.
No, that one. I did learn my lesson. You taught me last year.
Go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is George Anderson out of the state of New Jersey. He hit 575 on his first attempt. Now he's getting ready to push it with 625, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get behind him, folks. Just a little bit high, ladies and gentlemen, but it was a great attempt. Give him a big hand for a great attempt, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's go with 330 pounds, guys. 330 pounds, 11 out. 11 out. For our next lifter, Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick is our next lifter. On deck, Michael Watts, and in the hole, James Watanek, followed by Dan Caffrey. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the beginning of round 3 in our second flight of squats. After this flight, ladies and gentlemen, we will take a 15-minute break in order to get prepared for the bench press. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the guys' last lift in the squat for the World's Tournament. Let's get behind them, folks. Let's hear some noise for all of them when they get ready to push this weight. So they're going to be leaving it, we call it, leaving it on the platform here. This is where they give everything they got in the squat. And it's going to start with Michael right here.
Lock it out.
And it's a good lift, folks. And a good beginning to round 3 of the squat. Give it up for Michael Carrick. That was a good job. Now, move the bar to 340. 340 is the weight. 340 is the weight for our next lifter, Michael Watts. 16 out. 16 out is our rack height. On deck, James Watanek. And in the hole, Dan Caffrey, followed by Noah Gomez. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get behind Michael on this lift. He's got to have this lift to stay in the meat. He's got to get low. He's got to get low and pop it right back up. So let's give him, folks, let's give him some energy, folks. Let's get fired up for him. This is Michael Watts.
Come on, Michael, get it low.
And it's a good lift, folks. He did it. He got that third attempt in there. Good job for Michael Watts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, move the bar to 380. 380 is the weight. 380 is the weight. 15 out. 15 out for our next lifter, James Watanek. James Watanek is our next lifter. On deck, Dan Caffrey, and in the hole, Noah Gomez, followed by Jeremy Velasquez. Jeremy Velasquez. All right, ladies and gentlemen. James hit 365 on his first attempt. He missed 375, but you know what? He kicked on another 5 pounds for his third attempt.
Come on now.
That is what you call leaving it on the platform, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to give it everything we got. So let's give him what we got. Let's get fired up for James right now. That's no look, but it's a great attempt. Give him a big hand, folks. Give him a great big hand. All right, let's move the ball to 400. 400 is the weight. 400 is the weight for our next lifter, Dan Caffrey. Dan Caffrey is our next lifter. 10 out. 10 out is the rack height. 10 out is the rack height. On deck, Noah Gomez, and then the whole Jeremy Velasquez, followed by Romeo Tedicia. All right, folks, let's get behind Dan. He needs this lift also to stay in the meet. It's 400 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get behind it, folks. Give him what we got so he can get it low and pop it right back up. Here is Dan Caffrey. Come on, Dan, get it low. Come on, let's go. Get it low, Dan. Let's go. What? Pop it right back up. Get it low. 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 Right. Yes, it is a good lift, ladies and gentlemen. It is a good lift. And Dan will move forward. All right, let's move the bar to 425. 425 is the weight. 425 is the weight. 13 out. 13 out is the rack height. 13 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Noah Gomez. Noah Gomez is our next lifter. On deck, Jeremy Velasquez, and then the whole Romeo Tedicia, followed by Brian Ponder.
All right.
I'm thinking about doing arm curls with this.
All right, good.
We're good.
Marcus loaded.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Noah's lifting in the junior raw division, full power lifting meet. He weighed in at 180 in the 181 weight class, coming out of the state of New Jersey. He hit a 405 on his first attempt. He missed 425 on the second, but he's coming back on his third to try it one more time. So let's get behind him, folks. This is Noah Gomez.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Noah. Let's go. One up. Come on now. Wait. Oh, yeah. Fire it up. Come on. What?
And it's a good lift, folks. He got it. Noah Gomez, 425 pounds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move the bar to 460. 460 is the weight. 460 is the weight. Rack height 13 in. 13 in. 13 in is the rack height. For our next lifter, Jeremy Velasquez, ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Velasquez from the state of New York, representing the Big Apple. On deck, Romeo Tedicia, then the whole Brian Bonder. And after him is Rich Rogers. Folks, as you can see, noise helps. Oh, I'm sorry, 13 in. I said 13 in.
All right.
Come on now. Don't win the bar.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the noise works. Let's get behind Jeremy right here. He hit 405 on his first attempt. He missed 460 on his second, but I think he's coming back with it, folks. Let's get behind him. Let's give him what we got. Noise helps. Cheering helps. These guys get fired up. These ladies get fired up when they hear it. So let's give it to them, ladies and gentlemen. This is their last attempts in the squat. This is Jeremy at 460. Come on, good job. Give him a hand, folks. That's a great attempt. Give him a hand at that. That was a great attempt. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move the ball to 480. 480 is the weight. 480 is the weight. 8 out. 8 out is the rack height. 8 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Romeo Tedicia. Romeo Tedicia is our next lifter. On deck, Brian Bonder, and then the whole Rich Rogers, followed by Nick LaCava.
Marcus loaded.
I was going to keep going down. No, back to the curl rack.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. He weighed in at 145 pounds. It just amazes me. He weighed in 145 pounds in a 148-pound weight class, lifting in the open raw classic division. 480 pounds is what he's going to tip. He hit a 455, now he's going for 480. Romeo, where you at? The bar is loaded. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get behind him. Right here, he missed it on his second attempt. He's coming back to try it on his third. No suits, nothing but a wrestling singlet, a belt, and wraps. Let's get behind him, folks. 145 pounds, 480 pounds. He's about to attempt.
Come on, Romeo. Wait, Romeo. Come on, Romeo, go. Come on, go there.
Yeah!
Right. Drop it down, bring it up. Come on, Rome.
Somebody grab me.
Let him go again because I told him to take it because he was going back. I will give him a minute to let it down and let him go up. Put him at the end. Give him a minute to rest and let him go again. 2 off 5 on. Put him at the end? Put him at the end. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move to 485. 485 is the weight. 485.
I told him to take it because it looked like he was falling back.
485 is the weight. 11 out. 11 out is the rack height. 11 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Brian Bonder. Brian Bonder is our next lifter. On deck, Rich Rogers, and in the hole, Nick LaCava, followed by Rob Landolina. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Brian hit a 435 on his first attempt, a 470 on his second. He's coming to do 485. He's lifting in the 45 to 49 Royal Classic Division, full powerlifting meet in the super heavyweight class. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get behind him, folks. When he hits that stage, he's ready to get under that bar. Let's fire him up, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brian Bonder.
Got this thing. Clear head. Clear head. You got this. Nothing changing. Come on, Brian. Come on, Brian.
Come on now, Brian.
Come on, Brian. You're ready.
What?
And it's a good lift, folks. A great lift by Brian Bonder. All right, the ball moves to 500. 500 pounds, 12 out. 12 out is the rack height. 12 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Rich Rogers. Rich Rogers is our next lifter. On deck, Nick LaCava, and in the hole, Rob Landolina, followed by Steve Arnold. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Rich hit a 475 on his first attempt. He went for that quarter of a ton on his second attempt, but he's coming back to hit it this time, ladies and gentlemen. This is 500 pounds for Rich Rogers. The rack height 12 out. Rack height's 12 out.
Come on now, don't worry the bar. Come on now, fire this up.
Lifted in the police, fireman, military, Raw Classic Division, full powerlifting meet.
Come on now.
Here he is, folks. You're on out of the state of New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
Come on, Rich. Come on, Rich. Hit it, Rich. Come on, Rich. Get it down and pump it back up. Come on, Rich.
And it's no lift, but give him a big hand, folks. That's a great attempt. Like we say, leaving it on the platform and giving it everything you got. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll move the ball to 515. 515 is the weight. 515 is the weight for our next lifter. Oh, 12 out. 12 out is the rack height. 12 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Nick LaCava. Nick LaCava is our next lifter. On deck, Rob Landolina. And in the hole, Steve Arnold, followed by George Anderson. 515 is the weight. 12 out. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to get his straps up. We got to get his straps up. Straps up.
Straps up. Oh yeah. Come on now.
Come on, Nick, you got this.
Come on now. Come on now.
Hold time, it's okay. Plenty of time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get behind him, folks. He's got to make this lift to stay in the meet. He's got to have it. Bring it to him, ladies and gentlemen. Give him that energy. Let it flow. Let's get it fired up. Let's get Nick fired up. Hit the smoke. This 515 to stay in the meet. Come on, Nick. This is you. This is your lift.
Let's go, Nick. Come on, Nick. Come on. Come on. Bring it up. Bring it up. Oh, let's go. Get her now.
All right, no lift.
And it's still there. But give him a hand, folks. That was a great try, Nick. That was a great try. That was a great try. All right, ladies and gentlemen. 580 is the weight. 580 is the weight. 580 is the weight. 15 in. 15 in is the rack height. For our next lifter, Rob Landolina. Rob Landolina is our next lifter. On deck, Steve Arnold. And in the hole, George Anderson. Followed by Romeo Tendicia. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Rob's lifting in the open raw division, 40 to 44 raw division, police, fireman, military raw division, full power lifting meet. He hit 530, 555, and now he's getting ready to attempt 580. Let's get behind him, folks. This is Rob Landolina.
Come on, Rob. Come on now. Right. Come on, Rob. Come on, Rob. You got this. Come on, Rob. Get up!
And it's a good lift, folks. 3 for 3 in the squat for Rob Landolina. All right, let's move the ball to 600. 600 is the weight. 600 is the weight. 15 out. 15 out. 15 out is the rack height. For our next lifter, Steve Arnold. Steve Arnold is our next lifter. On deck, George Anderson, and in the hole, Romeo Tendicia. Ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, after this lift, we got 2 lifts remaining in the squat competition. We will take a 15-minute intermission to get ready for the bench press. If you get a chance, go out to see Moms and go see Danette. And look at some of the clothes, the t-shirts we have out there from TNT Ironwear and from the WNPF. Once again, we want to thank y'all for being here today. So let's get fired up, ladies and gentlemen. 600 pounds for Steve Arnold. Get ready for his 3rd attempt.
Yeah!
Come on, Steve! Come on, Steve! Monkey, let's go!
And it's a good lift, ladies and gentlemen. 600 pounds for Steve Arnold. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move to 650. Let's move to 650. 650 is the weight. 650 is the weight. 650 is the weight. 16 in. 16 in.
More loaded.
As long as you get all through it.
He gets a fourth attempt to break the attempt, right?
If he made all 3 and he's going to break the record, yeah.
How long of a wait does he have in between?
You can put him in the back or at least 3 to 5 minutes.
About 5 minutes.
All right, I'll do it. 615.
All right, here we go. 16 in, 650 pounds is the weight for George Anderson. George Anderson is the next lifter.
Oh, yeah. Come on now, no way in the bar. What? Take it. No, take it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, no lift. Looks like George didn't get down low enough, but that's 650 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. 650 pounds. All right.
Hold on. We got a lifter.
Yes.
2 more.
Yes. We got 2 more. Yes. We just added on an extra one for a 4th attempt at a world record. All right, this one, 480 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. 480 pounds. 8 out. 8 out is the rack height. 8 out is the rack height. 480 pounds. For our next lifter, Romeo Tendicia. Romeo Tendicia is our next lifter.
445.
Arm is loaded.
All right, the bar is loaded for Romeo. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get behind him, folks. Romeo weighs in at 145. He's lifting in the open brawl classic division, the full power lifting meet. 480 pounds right here, ladies and gentlemen. 480 pounds right here.
Come on.
Go, Ron, all you.
Come on now.
What?
Come on, Romeo. Come on, Romeo. Come on, Romeo. Smoke it, Romeo. Smoke it.
And it's a good lift. 480 pounds. That's 145. That is Romeo Piscicia.
Hey, Lester, I think you made him mad. He got really
What's your attack? Where am I up?
6:15.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move the bar to 6:15. Yeah, we'll give 3 minutes. You got 3 minutes, Steve. You got 3 minutes to rest. All right, 6:15 is the weight. 15 out. 15 out. 15 out. 15 out.
You got 6 plates on there, right?
6:15 is the weight.
And I need 5 and 2.5.
Y'all need to trade places, right? Yeah.
6 big ones, 5 and 2.5.
I know that. All right, keep going.
Alright, when you take time, we give him a couple of minutes to rest.
What? You said 6:15, right?
Yes, sir, 6:15.
Oh, you're right. I was looking at the wrong one. I was looking at 6:10. 6:15 is 6 plates and 10 and 5. Thank you. Good looking out. 10 and 5. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I think I'm going to look at I saw doing parts. You got a charger or pad, just let me do it. Alright, we'll get that. Oh, yeah, not
All right, Steve, you got a minute and a half to go. Minute and a half to go before we give you a bona fide attempt at the weight.
Can't even talk.
Let's go, Steve. You got this. Come on.
Come on, Steve.
Come on, Steve.
30 seconds.
Come on.
Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on now. Don't wait at the bar.
When Steve gets up to the bar, ladies and gentlemen, let's get behind him, folks. The record is 6:10. Steve is getting ready to attempt a world record at 6:15. Let's get behind him, folks. This is it. Steve Arnold, Born Troy world record. And it's a new world record for Steve Arnold. 615 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. All right, at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 15-minute intermission to get set up for the bench press competition. Don't forget, take a chance to go out.